I was born in Shanghai.
你好，
Hi, I'm Shanghainese.
如何吧？
Ni hao. The Chinese taught me to love, not to hate.
我叫 Alan，我上海人。
我是老上海，我生了上海，我个姓是一样的上海人。
China was very special for us. Though we are foreign born, China was our home.
You lived in two worlds, one world which affected you personally, and another world which you saw.
You think you're in Shanghai, China, you know what life is? It's right here, not up in your mansions, your servants serve you food. You talk with these people, they cook, you can smell the flavor.
We encountered pirates and warlords.
People came out there to make their fortunes. Some made it, some lost it.
I think Shanghai gave the opportunity for someone who was open-minded to really understand what an international city is.
There was no contact. Only I could remember from pictures, from memories, growing up there. And the pictures that all showed me on the roof garden. I was a princess in the castle.
Who are these people? Where are they really from? Could they actually be Chinese? What's so special about them? They came from the world's first international city. They are our first global citizens. They came from Shanghai. Children growing up in Shanghai were imprinted with a unique worldview that literally made them the first global citizens.
On the whole, when you went to class, you had kids, some whose parents were very wealthy and some whose parents really had a hard time. Maybe the father worked in a garage and had a small room upstairs, the garage. And nobody, I don't even know what anybody's parents did, most of the time. So I think it was a very good school for international understanding.
We had Portuguese people, Russian people, Jewish people, Chinese people. We had different people. And we all got along very fine, you know. And we went to school on the basis that we were friends.
For many, Shanghai was an ideal place to live, a unique blend of East and West in the world's most modern city.
My father had a factory with 40 uneducated Chinese workers, and they were great. And I was friends with all of them. And I'd run in and out among them and ask them what they were doing, and I'd sit on their laps and I'd share their meals and just run around. And when my father caught me, chased me away. But I enjoyed it. And I learned how to be with a working class of Chinese people.
We loved Chinese chestnuts that were roasted in the street. Take the bag, go, poof, and the bag would explode. He'd put enough chestnuts in there to warm your pockets, and you'd be eating one chestnut for a long time as you walked.
As far as I was concerned, my life in Shanghai was a life that was perfectly normal. I thought it was perfectly normal to have 5 or 6 servants. This life was absolutely magnificent. I realize now how abnormal it was.
Now, as far as the armors are concerned, you have different kinds of armors. You have, of course, the top of the scale, on top of the ladder is the baby armor. And really and truthfully, the baby armor is not a servant anymore, it's part of the family. The kids all, I would say many families, the kids are more attached to their baby armor than to their parents, because the baby armor is with them all the time.
My Amma was my second mother, really. She was with me all the time. And she taught me so much that people nowadays say that my patience and my calmness and all the good qualities the Chinese people have, part of it came to me through my Amma.
We had servants. Can't call them servants. They were part of our family. Some of them were 3 generations with us. I can tell you this, and I've told this to a lot of people. When I left Shanghai, my Amma, who was my nurse, took care of me from the day I was born. And I cried, and our tears intermingled. I held her, and she held me, and we said goodbye. And I didn't do that with my own mother.
If I can find her, I would like to find how she is, and if she has any needs that I'm able to help her out with. I feel very grateful to her. As I said, I feel like she's almost my second mother, and I wish I could get in touch with her if she's still alive.
We're all from China or Shanghai, and so we always feel at home when we're together. Our Shanghai comes to life every time we meet.
We do have our background, our growing up, our living in a totally different environment than most people grew up in.
Shanghai will always be home to those who grew up there. Many keep coming back to Shanghai, looking for their lost hearts and drifting souls, wanting to fulfill their dreams and complete the cycle of life. In their twilight years, yet amazingly spry, these Shanghailanders, the old China hands, keep coming back to Shanghai. They come to reminisce, to explore, to find old friends, and maybe even their amas. They return to their schools and revisit the homes they grew up in one last time. And they are always received as honored and welcomed members of the city.
I knew that apartment building was not going to be torn down. I don't know why, but I just knew it was there. You come and tell.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you. Can I come? Can't believe this. I can't believe this. Oh God, make
You're
me
60.
60 years.
60 years.
60 years
Yeah.
ago.
1946. 46.
From
1946. I graduated from the university.
I really didn't expect him to receive us and accept us that easily. Goodbye, apartment. See you later in my other life.
History is very important because life goes on. There's a lot in the future, but we always have to learn from the past to see what life was like in Shanghai years ago.
To me, China was Camelot. And it wasn't just the privilege. It was the people and the whole atmosphere of the country. I think I liked it because it wasn't in the mad rush of the Western world. You could actually relax and love it. And, you know, there was a different ambience in China. I will definitely go home, as I call it. China was always home.
It would make my heart very warm if I could find my ame, my ama that brought me up. She was an exceptional lady who is probably now in the late 70s or early 80s. And she was very kind and just took super care of me when I was a kid.
I don't think I'll ever forget the language because I like it and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it because not very many people want to talk, or if they do talk, even my brothers, they don't say it. I speak the best Shanghainese.
Shanghai has seen countless warlords, the Taiping Rebellion, Japanese invasions, a civil war between nationalists and communists, and the Cultural Revolution. But even that hasn't stopped Shanghai. There is something special about Shanghai. It might be located in China, but Shanghai is a city that truly belongs to the world. The Shanghai spirit never dies, and it lives on forever. For some as a memory, and for others as their future.
I don't have a home Even though I've been in Canada for the last 50 years, I feel comfortable anywhere. When I'm in Shanghai, I become a Zhanghenying immediately. I feel extremely comfortable. Even the people recognize it. When you walk along, the people in Shanghai somehow feel this is not the usual big-nosed foreigner. This is somebody who is like us. And I feel comfortable in the entire world.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about something in Shanghai, because they were the happiest years of my life.
You live in a world where things happen and life goes on. You can't avoid that. And as life goes on, you reflect on the past, and that brings images, good or bad, preferably the good images, because you could live with that. The good things, you want to reflect on these good things. They're part of your past, they're part of your present.
I feel I've had a very exciting life, and everything gets rounded and everything comes to conclusions, which to me is always very extraordinary to observe.
We're living treasures. We are people that are slowly going away. History is going to remain about us. People will then know how we lived.
When we, the real old China hands, pass away, there will be no more old China hands.
Shanghai will always remain a mix of cultures and nationalities. And to them, the old China hands, it's Shanghai and China that formed their worldview and made them into who they are today. They share something special. These people still reserve Shanghai and China as home in their hearts. Many keep coming home to find their past, that special place in time in Shanghai.